What's going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for another live review of tonight's episode of SmackDown Live, the October 10th, 2017 edition of SmackDown Live. We're going to take a look back at what happened on this show from beginning to end, as always. The live chat is open as well if you want to participate in that as well. Overall, what did I think of tonight's show? I gotta give it to you. There was a good amount in the show that I did enjoy. There were some stuff that I did not enjoy, though, and some stuff that I'm going to be talking about a little bit. And I might have a little bit of a rant in here as well, but we got a lot of positives in this night's episode of SmackDown Live. And like the ending of the show as well, I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I found what I found pretty acceptable and, more than above average, I felt. It's great. This show got a decent grade for me, in my honest opinion. We'll see what also Twitter thinks as well. We'll check out the polls at the end of this video as well. So we start things off with, of course, they were showing the what happened with after Hell in a Cell Sunday night. Of course, the ending with Sami Zayn helping out Kevin Owens win the match, and is advertised that you will later on hear from the two and find out why Sami did what he did. He'll explain his actions. So we start off though with the Usos. Takes the Uso Penitentiary. They come out. The new SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions, now the 5-time Tag Team Champions. They come out. Their awesome new rap song, which I love. And then they came to the ring, and they pretty much just first off said that, said, "We told you so." And then they called out the new to say, "We come out here. We need to tell you guys something." Now they pretty much said that, this wasn't the face turn by the Usos, thank goodness, because I don't want them to go back to being faces. I love them as heels. The Usos pretty much mentioned how, these are the two best teams on the SmackDown tag team division. The rest of them suck, which is completely true. He says, and every time we fought, we've gone to war with each other and whatnot. So pretty much, they're saying, is the Usos asking for an truce or a truce whatever? New Day was joking around. And it was like, respect. So they're about to shake hands, and they're interrupted by the Hype Brothers, who came up. And, just still wondering what direction are they going with the Hype Brothers, because we still didn't get an answer tonight. We had another tease in the match we had in the future on the show of the two of them breaking up. But we also had like a decent promo that Mojo cut saying how he's tired of, it's always being about just these two teams. We want it to be about something else. And then, who came out after the Usos? Oh, it was Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable came out, and they wanted an opportunity as well. And then out came Breezango, and they got a big pop. They got probably the best pop out of all the tag teams. They're about to talk, and then out comes the Ascension, who's been dying to, on the Fashion Files we saw on Sunday, be Breezango's friends. They're like, we're tired of being in the wasteland. We want to get serious now, which hopefully that's true, because, they're certified jobbers for life unless you're going to actually do something with the Ascension. So out came Daniel Bryan and pretty much just set up a fatal four-way to determine the #1 contender for the SmackDown Live Tag Champions. See who will face the Usos next. So it was a fatal four-way between the Hype Brothers, the Ascension, Breezango, and the team of Shelton Gable and Chad Benjamin. And for what we got, I thought it was a pretty good match. I enjoyed it for what it was, giving all four of these teams time to shine out there. I think, the only thing they didn't really get as much offense in as I hoped it would was Breezango. They got some offensive, not as much I felt as the other teams. The Hype Brothers were in there a lot. The Ascension got some offense in as well. And of course, Shelton Ben and Chad Gable did as also. But again, these teams, like there was not really as much bodies flying everywhere, but I still thought the match was pretty good. Showing the talent these guys really have. I wish they would just give these guys more of an opportunity and not just leave them like this floating off to the side. Because to me, when all these teams came out, I'm thinking, wow, SmackDown actually has a tag team division? I didn't know this. But the match goes on, and again, there was a tease between, some tension between Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder, which I think is starting to drag on a little too long. I thought they would have done something at Hell in a Cell to pretty much like say, hey, teams either going to the dark side or they're splitting up. But trying to drag on a little bit, nothing happened here. But the winner, though, was the team of Gable and Benjamin. They got the win, pinning, I think it was Tyler Breeze they pinned for the victory. So they're now the number one contenders for the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. So we're probably going to get them feud with Usos. Again, the next pay-per-view SmackDown's taking part in is Survivor Series. So I don't know if they're going to get an opportunity before Survivor Series or what's going to go on in Survivor Series. Again, I don't know if they're going to do, any multiple 5-on-5 elimination matches like they did last year. I kind of hope they don't do like all getting the same thing again like last year. It's not going to feel fresh because really there's nothing really at stake last year whenever they did that. So I mean, like first year, all right, it was the first year of the brand split returning. I'm like, okay, this is cool, but I don't think you can. I don't think you can do that again for a second or third year in a row. So let's hopefully get something different with the 5-on-5 elimination matches. Have them actually mean something this year. But a good opening match by these two, all these teams. And then we are shown this backstage segment with Natalya just hugging her title and like kissing it, like coming up to like, I knew you'd be mine, staying here forever. Just looked really awkward. I mean, I know a lot of people are saying this on Twitter too. Natty has been a good champion wrestling wise, but there's just been no story to her as champion. Like if you're gonna, I like Natty. If you're going to want to make Natty a credible champion, you gotta have like some type of story behind it. I mean, she's wrestling wise, I think she's fine. It's just these terrible scripted promos. Then that's the big thing we're gonna be talking about throughout this review. Scripted promos is what really is hurt some people on this show tonight as well. So Lana and Tamina come out of nowhere and saying how oh, congrats Natty, but that title's gonna look more ravishing on Tamina. And then and I think Carmella walked in and reminding, hey, I'm right here. And then in comes Charlotte. Well, actually, before this, Natalya's like, we can all agree that everybody has a chance of getting to this title that a lot bit more than Charlotte Flair does. So then Charlotte just walks around the corner, and Natty takes a shot at Charlotte, saying something about your knee and your broken heart or whatever. And Charlotte starts like beating down on Natty, and then the entire division trying to break up the fight. And then we got a little bit of tension in there as well. So that was whatever it was. This feud's continuing. I'm not sure there's gonna be a stipulation added, which I feel like wrestling wise, the match where we get will be good. I mean, the match at Hell in a Cell was all right, nothing really that spectacular, but it was all right. But again, this feud needs a story, and because it was right now, all these women are feeling directionless. And yes, for a year they did a great job building all these up, and all of them, any of them can be champions except for Tamina. Any of them can be champions, I feel, but we're not. I keep saying we're not doing the non-title women's feuds anymore, and that's what's really caused the SmackDown women's division just to go downhill and not feel as exciting anymore. It's because it's just about the title now. I think the cruiserweight division feels flat because either you're going after the title or you're nothing, or also you're stuck with just going after that. Yeah, and there's nothing else for you to do, and you're all just a bunch of jobbers who should just get rid of the division and put something down on NXT, help them, get built up, put on the main roster, have them be like, mid-carders or whatnot. Even some could be world champion material, like Cedric Alexander, but I'm not talking about 205 Live. We also had, Renee Young having a backstage interview with Baron Corbin, and Corbin kept interviewing, saying he's just rubbing it in the face to all of his haters about he's the United States champion, that he's going to be facing AJ Styles for his rematch in the main event. He's going to prove that he's not this shortcut artist or whatever that AJ Styles calls him, and he will. I'm trying to remember exactly what he said, but he says how Styles says SmackDown Live is a house that AJ Styles built, but he says he's going to show that this is the house. I can't remember what he says. He says something about he kind of like twisted that segment a little bit and whatever. But it was still, I was looking forward to seeing what was going on, which I'll get into the match later on, but I think we did have a decent match. And then we had a match between Becky Lynch and Carmella. The match was all right. It was kind of short. Carmella lost after tapping out to the disarmer for a submission win. Again, like these women's matches would mean so much more if they actually did something to them and not just had them all being directionalists and just, you know, making the division about the title, like not how it was a year ago when we were having women's feuds that weren't about the title and it meant something and I was enjoying it. But that's not what we got, unfortunately. And so this match was all right, but like, you know, like why should I really care? Because like, you know, it's not going to really lead to anything. I mean, Carmella lost again as Money in the Bank, but you know, who knows? But then this was the moment of the night. This segment right here. This shows that this has been a week of reunions. Last night we had the Shield reuniting officially. But this, I think I enjoyed this a little bit better than the Shield reuniting. Kevin Owens comes out and talks about his victory last night at Hell in a Cell. And he's talking about how, you know, for a moment, I felt myself like separated from my body. I felt the end. I was at the gates of heaven. And St. Peter says, you know, you still have more left to do here on earth. And then my guardian angel came out of nowhere and saved me. And it's my best friend, Sami Zayn. And thanks to him, now Shane McMahon is gone pretty much. And I can finally declare SmackDown Live the Kevin Owens show. And then he says, give it up for my best friend, Sami Zayn. So Sami comes out and, you know, it seemed like he was doing his normal thing, you know, just, you know, his normal entrance is walking around. But he didn't get a good reaction because he pretty much at the time it seemed like he turned heel, and we weren't sure how far we're going to go with it because I can't really see Sami as a full you know, bully style heel. But he comes out and Owens is thanking Sami, but then Sami says, "No, Kevin, before I explain my actions, I gotta say thank you. Just 2 weeks ago, you powerbombed me into an apron. But let me tell you something. That powerbomb woke me up." He talked about, and there was so much truth in this segment. And I gotta say, because I posted this tweet on Twitter, when Sami Zayn has to give him the opportunity to hold a microphone, he's gold on the mic. He is absolutely gold. His promos feel so real and from the heart, and it feels like it's how he actually feels whenever he talks. He talks about how, you know, when he's brought over to SmackDown Live, Shane McMahon said this is the land of opportunity and whatnot. He says, and I believed him, but then as time went on, nothing seemed to really happen. And you know, he says all this time I've been wanting to do things the right way and for these people, pointing out the crowd. He says, but after a while, you know, I looked at your success, Kevin. You've been my best friend, not my best friend, my brother. He says, you know, you say things that you know, just doing the right thing is not really the best way to succeed in this business. And look at you. You've been Intercontinental Champion, United States Champion, Universal Champion. And you pretty much told Kevin, in my honest opinion, you were right. You were right. And that's why last night, your night, you woke me up with that powerbomb 2 weeks ago. And then when I would tell Shane McMahon, you know, stop it, you don't know what you're getting into. You don't know what Kevin Owens is all about when he's in a position like this. And he just kept brushing me off, saying, no, it's fine. He says, Shane never wanted to give me an opportunity. Shane never believed in me. So last night, I wanted to prove it. Shane McMahon he pretty much pointed out to Kevin, you know, he had you beat. But what happened? He thought about no one else but himself, and he climbed up to that cell. That proved that he was just making that moment about him, just like it always has been. He says, so what did I do? I saved my brother. And he's like, so with all that, thank you. And, you know, they kept going back and forth saying, you know, to give it up for Kevin Owens, give it up for Sami Zayn and whatnot. Go back and forth, but finally they pretty much just like accepted, like, you know, they reunited and they embraced this hug. You know, I'm sure it was a great moment for them as well, you know, being able to work together again. You know, in real life, as they are, like, you know, best friends. They grew up in this business together. But, yeah, they're going all out with it. Sami Zayn is a full-on heel now. It wasn't just a thing with Sami trying to say, hey, guys, cut this out. It was more of a thing making a statement that, hey, I'm doing things, the way, he's done them, because he's obviously gotten titles. He's gotten success. I mean, back in like 2 years ago or whatever it was, he was saying how, Kevin Owens doesn't want to do the hard work to earn it. He just wants to, stab everybody in the back just to get what he wants. He says, but you know what? He says, you're right. Screw it. You were right all along. I mean, this is, like a top baby face who like wasn't really getting the opportunities right now, but his heel turn could fuel him up, get him in the main event scene, and then down the line, if it's in my turn order, if you want to turn him face again, he'll probably be right up there if you do so. Because Sami spoke truth, and it's unfortunate because this promo, and I always shout out my friend Daniel, guys, whenever we do whenever we watch, I'm watching Raw or SmackDown, and of course anybody else on Twitter that I want to chat with, but this promo just made me think back to this video that Deluxe Man made sometime over the summer talking about his biggest issue with the company this year. And he was talking about how it seems that everybody just gets nothing but heat, and that WWE relies more on the villains and books the baby faces like crap. And really, it's true. Anymore these days, it feels like if you want to get over it in WWE, you have to just be bad and get heat. And that's the way you're going to succeed in this business. And, I mean, again, I don't want to take away how this is a great promo, and, this could lead to better things for Sami Zayn, but why does that have to be the case? Why can't you, do a good job in writing, good heroes and baby faces and building new stars throughout this as well? Giving people the right heat they deserve, but not just like, just giving them heat and then the babyface will get their comeuppance, and that's how they succeed. It's not the heels that are going to, draw money. It's the baby faces, because, that's how people want the story to end. If the story kept going, the bad guys just constantly get away with things, why people aren't going to be happy. I mean, yes, here and there, you're going to have to get, these villains, something to get away from, but you're going to build it up. That way they can help build a top baby face. And if Sami Zayn just do it to get his career going, then so be it. Let's do this. But for the product itself, WWE has to do a better job in building up their baby faces as well. Like Sami Zayn, like as a babyface, could have been a huge star, like he was down in NXT, but you gave him nothing to do, and his career progressively got worse. Putting him on SmackDown Live, where we thought this is where he was going to start get going. I mean, I'm sure it would have happened if Ryan Ward was still in charge of SmackDown, but instead he was under Road Dogg's writing, so we can probably blame him. #fire Road Dogg, but if this is what's going to have to be for Sami, then so be it, like I said before. But it's just unfortunate that it has to go this route. But I still like this segment. My favorite segment of the week by far. And then we had this really, I mean, the match I thought was all right, but we had this really pointless tag team match. I don't know why it was happening. It was the team of Shinsuke Nakamura and Randy Orton taking on Rusev and Aiden English. Speaking of which, Jinder Mahal, the WWE champion, did not appear on the show tonight. As like where he was or anything. Wonder why. Maybe we'll find out next week, or we'll hear something in the rumor mill tonight later on when the rumor mill comes out at 1 o'clock on Cage Sides to Bleacher Report, whatever it is. So like, what's next for Shinsuke Nakamura? And this is where I want to do a little bit of a rant through this match, because something that I keep saying that bothers me about the booking of Shinsuke Nakamura on the main roster is the difference between him on the main roster and on NXT. Is this thing how I realized they were making him feel like his own. I can think of only one time down in NXT where he was part of a tag team. And I think it was, I know he teamed up with Austin Aries. It was right before his match with Aries at NXT TakeOver the End. I think they teamed up against a team of Blake and Murphy, I think. Well, that's during the time where Blake and Murphy was going back and forth. Do we stay together or we split up? But That was the only time I can remember Shinsuke Nakamura being a tag match. He's been in a tag match how many times since we moved up to SmackDown Live? And to me, that makes him feel like he's just another one of the guys on the main roster. He's not different. He's not unique. He's not the Japanese-style Brock Lesnar. Like, Brock Lesnar, despite the fact that, I'm starting to get a little stale on Brock Lesnar, when he comes back, he's his own person. He's not getting involved in tag matches. He's not making alliances or anything. He is just destroying everything in sight. And Shinsuke Nakamura needs to, even as a babyface, keep him feeling that unique, difference. And that's not what they're doing. And now he's losing to Jinder Mahal twice, which makes no sense whatsoever, but he can beat John Cena and Randy Orton clean. And as far as, Randy Orton goes, if him and Rusev are continuing this feud, here's what I gotta say. 1 second. Here's my wallet. Here's this chest I have on my dresser. This pirate's chest that has a lot of change in it. There's some change in this wallet that I need to get out. Let me see here. I got a nickel, another nickel, and a penny. Either way, all those nickels and pennies. If I had a nickel for every time the past 3 months that Randy Orton has RKO'd Rusev, even though it was not really, it wasn't quite the decisive factor, it just, got Rusev out of the way for Nakamura to hit the Kinshasa on Aiden English for the win. If I had a nickel for every time Randy Orton has gotten the one-up on Rusev, all except for one time the past 3 months, because it's always been doing RKO, I'd be rich. Filthy rich. This chest would be so heavy filled with nickels right now. Of course, it's filled with different types of change as well. But my point exactly is, if they're continuing this feud between Rusev and Randy, why? I keep saying this feud makes absolutely no sense at all. It's just making Rusev look even more weaker, and the only time he wins, he acts like a little lunatic thinking he's some big hero. He beat Randy Orton off a distraction and a super kick to the jaw in 9 seconds. That doesn't make you a hero. That's not going to make people take you seriously. To me, it looked like a fluke because of what it did. I mean, give it, they had a decent match. I liked their match at Hell in a Cell. But still, why are we still doing this? And that's why I didn't enjoy this tag match. It just felt pointless. It didn't do any favors for anybody. Nobody's going to get anything. No one's going to remember this match at all. It's just, why? Add in the thing about the nickels. I'm sure that was a lot better than the scripted promos we saw tonight. But got that match out of the way with. And then next we had, this. I'm not sure what to think about this. Because, the armor looked cool. I like the costumes. It's just, how many times are we doing this? How many more times are we going to be going back and forth between these two? Being together, splitting up, getting back together, and whatnot. A promo pretty much between Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. Where have these two been? I have not seen these two since, I think, their match at Backlash that they had. The last, these two, they cut this dark looking promo wearing this like goofy looking armor, which it looked cool. I'll give them that. But they're like pretty much saying broken bones, severed spines, Harper, Rowan, Bludgeon Brothers. Bludgeon Brothers? Weird name. But if this is finally going to get them started, because especially Luke Harper too. They split them up from the Wyatt family. And Eric Rowan, well, he returned and he didn't split the Wyatt family. Bray Wyatt just went off the Raw. But they split them up again. They split them up right before Survivor Series in 2014 as well. So it's like, how many more times are we going to do this and we can't take it seriously anymore? Luke Harper, especially Luke Harper, why did they have to pull Luke Harper and repackage him? He was this close to being in the main event of WrestleMania. Well, one of the headlining matches. And then right after he gets knocked to the side, they do absolutely nothing with him. They give him and Rowan, just a average match at Backlash, and then they're repackaging them. Why? I mean, I thought Harper at least was in his zone as a singles competitor. Rowan, I'm not as big of a fan. But Harper especially, him turning face, I felt was, it was fresh. It was different. I felt maybe down the line, even like a mid-card feud right now between him and Baron Corbin for the U.S. Championship could have been really fresh, something good, could have benefited both of them. Nope, we're just going to put him back there with Harper again. I'm sure they're going to break up again in the year. Again, we'll get a chance, see what happens, but I'm just like, here we go again with this. This just... and then this is probably my lowest point of the night. And I hate to do it because these are two of my favorite superstars, even though I know one of them is probably going to be out the door soon. Bobby Roode comes out and cuts a short little promo saying how he thought his pay-per-view debut was absolutely glorious. And then he said, but afterwards, of course, Dolph attacked him from behind. So obviously Dolph wants to fight. So if you want to fight Dolph, then let's fight. So Dolph comes out. It's not like they're doing this new entrance with him where they start playing his song, but then it cuts out and Dolph just comes out because Dolph's making this whole stand on, I'm not about the entrance, I'm about what's in the ring. And him and Bobby just go back and forth. And first off, I think Bobby botched. He was talking and he just stopped talking. He's just like, yeah. Going back to what I said earlier about Natalya, scripted promos. Bobby Roode was not getting scripted promos down at NXT, and he could talk for like 15 minutes, and I was enjoying what he was saying. I was able to stay in tune and believe in what he's saying. This between Bobby and Dolph, it sounded like a bunch of 10-year-olds on the playground just saying, you want to fight? You want to fight? You want to fight? And it was just annoying, and it was just stupid, and it was boring. Like, this is just wasting my time. So Dolph did tease going to the ring. The fight, you said anywhere, any place, this is not the place. And it was announced that next week they will have a rematch. So hopefully it's better than their match at Hell in a Cell, because their match at Hell in a Cell was kind of flat, I felt. And then before I get into the main event, another little rant I got to do. I know we saw them earlier tonight in the Fatal 4-Way. However, though, Sunday night, after their segment at Hell in a Cell, people are starting up this new case. We're going to get some like Pulp Fiction case or whatever, and some Pulp Fiction fashion file or something was supposed to be tonight on SmackDown Live. Another thing, if I had a nickel for every time WWE advertises something and it doesn't happen, especially when it happens to the same person or group of people, such as Emelina not appearing for 17 long weeks and being teased like once or twice that she's going to appear just to pull the plug on that whole gimmick. And now the Fashion Files said they're going to return 1 week. Don't return. Says again they're going to return the following week. Don't return. They're going to return Hell in a Cell. Okay. It gets nowhere with their segment. Again, it was entertaining, but nowhere. Then they say tonight we're going to get some type of like Pulp Fiction type Fashion File segment. And it doesn't happen. WWE, what is your problem? All you do is lie. You lie. You lie. Why are you advertising this when it's not going to happen? That makes you look terrible. It's just like, say I'm going to do this and you don't do it. Why? You're just making it, it's like you're just playing fun with it. Same with, how you were with Emma when she was transferring to Emelina. When would she show up? It's not funny. Quit doing this. Cut it out. Please. Whenever they appear, they're going to appear. And they better be there. Okay? Capiche? Got it? Road Dogg? Vince? Kevin Dunn? Michael Hayes? Whoever? somebody please quit advertising stuff that's going to happen next week, and it doesn't. I had to get that off my chest. But let's get into this main event here as well. It was a United States Championship match between Baron Corbin and AJ Styles, the rematch, as Styles did invoke his rematch clause for the United States Championship, and he wants to, go out there and prove that Baron Corbin is just this whole shortcut artist, and how, Corbin did not pin Styles to win the championship. And Styles admitted, he says, I get it. It's a whole thing with, triple threat matches. He says, but, it shows that Corbin just takes shortcuts. So I'm on this match worried, okay, if Corbin's going to be a legitimate champion here, and they're going to get him back on track with a mid-card title run after they, pulled the plug on him being Money in the Bank and probably most likely get into the main event scene, like with the championship, I felt, okay, if you want to at least give him a solid, U.S. title run, then I'm cool with that. Just don't book him like crap. I think at the beginning of this match, and Corbin was doing this thing where he's been doing usual, he gets hurt and he just goes, shut up, nah, nah, nah. Honestly, in my opinion, that reminds me a lot of Big Show. When he turned heel, was it after Survivor Series in 2014? That heel run when he was with the Authority. I'm sorry, that was atrocious. Anytime he would get hurt, he would just, look like it's a giant baby. And that's what they're making Corbin looking like the past few weeks. But in this match, he didn't look that way. He looked like how I remember seeing him before he got that plug pulled on him with the Money in the Bank briefcase. He was like a strong, competitive, dominating heel, oozing with confidence. And, he didn't take any shortcuts. Like, I was worried that he would think that, Styles is right. I can't beat him one-on-one and just try to take the title and run away and then somehow get, a cheap victory. No, he beat Styles clean. And I love AJ Styles. I'm never against him picking up a win. But I was actually happy with this. Like, you're getting a clean win over AJ Styles. No, cheap stuff about it. I was happy. I was pleased. I'm like, okay, the match was solid, but this made Corbin look pretty good. And it had me invested in, okay, what's next for Corbin? I like this match. And then hopefully this will help Styles get back into the World Championship picture and take that title off of Jinder Mahal by the end of the year. But still, this is a big win here for Baron Corbin. Gave him a good start as U.S. champion. I look forward to see what goes down the line with him. Hopefully this will build him back up, get him into the main event scene, and hopefully next year we'll see him as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Well, just the WWE Champion now, and hopefully not Jinder Mahal. But yeah, so SmackDown went off on a pretty good note tonight. And overall, I gotta say, I thought the show was pretty good. We did have a couple things I didn't really enjoy. Then the stuff with Natalya and Charlotte was kind of average. The tag match between Orton and Nakamura and English and Rusev was really random. It was all right, random, no fashion files. That was a little upsetting. The lowest point in that was probably the segment between Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. But other than that, I think we got a pretty solid show tonight. That's why I thought about it. I want to give SmackDown Live a B- this week. A really strong B-. Close to a B, but not quite as a flat B. I'll give it a B-. So what grade would you give SmackDown Live? Leave your thoughts down in the comments section. And actually, I forgot to pull up the polls. Let's see here what happens. So I have my usual two polls I do after SmackDown Live. Let me see here. I'll find it here. 1 second. Here we go. Well, only 3 votes on what grade would you give SmackDown Live. 2 said A, 1 said B. Nobody said anything less. Okay, got good reviews there. And 50-50, 2 votes on what show did you enjoy more this week, Raw or SmackDown Live. Me personally, Raw, was kind of back and forth, had some stuff that, was kind of pointless, and stuff that's kind of good. I was back and forth with that show, but said something like this show. I mean, it was the same way, but I think the stuff that was good was better than the stuff that was good on Raw. So that's why I want to give the edge to SmackDown Live this week. A solid show, solid Fallout show from Hell in a Cell. Really looking forward to seeing what goes on between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn down the road. We're looking forward to seeing what happens with Baron Corbin as well. The tag team division, hopefully they do bring that Fashion File segment in. But overall, we had a pretty good show tonight on SmackDown Live. Again, give me your thoughts on SmackDown Live. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section. What grade would you give it? What didn't you like? And please make sure, as always, click that like and subscribe button for more content on this channel. I should be back up here live again doing my NXT live review tomorrow. I'm going to finish WrestleMania 4 after this and probably record the review tonight and then most likely upload it tomorrow. And I'm going to try to do also my next TakeOver match cards. I just want to confirm again if it's either going to be called War Games or still going to be called Houston. Have to double check. But either way, expect some more content from me this coming week. And as always, also make sure to follow me on Twitter at DemandAirboy93. And with that, guys, I'm checking out. I will see you all later. Have a great night.